Hey, this is me. I'm standing in my kitchen here today doing a selfie. I'm about ready to put some salmon in the smoker that I have prepared. It has taken me 2.5 days to get it ready to put in the smoker. I learned how to do this up at my resort that we used to have up in Alaska, and they have a very special recipe up there which I borrowed from them, and now I'm trying to duplicate it down here in Florida. So far I haven't been able to perfect it, but I think this batch I'm about to throw in there is as close as I'm going to get. Now this is silver, actually this is pink salmon that I'm using. They tell me it's better to use silver or king, but the problem with that is I like to eat silver or king too much cooked, so I'm going to use the pink salmon, which is considered the lower grade for smoking, and honestly, from my experience, it's going to work just fine. So let me turn this camera around here and show you the fish. Here's the fish. It's about ready to go in. I've got it prepared. I really don't know how many pounds. If I had to guess, I'd say this may be 3-4 pounds of salmon all in. It's cut into fillets, and right here are salmon bellies. And most people don't know that the belly of the salmon is good meat. Now, I'm not talking about the guts. This came from the outside of the fish, not the inside. It's just part of the fish that most fish cleaners will throw away if they didn't know any better. I went up to the Salmon Falls Resort for years before I knew you could eat the bellies, and in fact, also you can eat the cheeks out of the halibut. It's actually a delicacy when they cook them up and blacken. Anyway, these fillets have been marinating for 2.5 days now. All right, now here's the smoker that I use. However, you do not need to use this big of a smoker. This actually came out of my restaurant, and if you'll go to the hardware store and get yourself what they call a Big Chief or even a Little Chief, it's a little aluminum box and it's all you need. But what you got to do is make sure you get the smoker that you can put wood chips in. These are alder chips, and this is an electric cooker. So all I'm going to do is slide the alder chips down here on the burner element and lock the door here and walk away and come back later, and there will be smoke coming out of that little hole on the top. And those chips only take about an hour and a half to burn up completely. And in my experience, by the time they do, the smoking part of this is done. You just got to be careful that you don't leave the heat on. All right, here we are with the finished product. And it really only took about 45 minutes to cook this salmon in that smoker. And that's a mistake a lot of people make. They leave it in there too long and they dry it out. I have tasted it, and it is the best smoked salmon I have prepared to date. It's moist, it's not dried out, and it's just exactly the perfect sweetness. I forgot to tell you that when you're preparing it, you do have to let it soak in salt water for about 4 hours. Take it out of the salt water and dry it, then put it in the bags with the marinade. And then let it marinate for a couple of days, and then put the maple syrup on top of it, and it'll be the best smoked salmon that you've ever fixed. Try it yourself. Let me know how it works.